Greetings, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Now, I want to talk about something. Being on code. This is something that is thrown quite regularly lately. And it seems very funny to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Where is that code? Where can it be found? Who initiated that code, that virtual, unwritten code that seems to be changing or evolving whenever it suits people? To me, that code seems to be that whack Pan-African mentality of defending a black person no matter what he does. Now, I showed that Tariq Nasheed was selling Hotep clothing, and I've played Tariq shading completely Hotep people, and I say people not to use the N-word. I'm not holier than thou. I try not to use that word, and it's been years. It's not something that I've started doing. Now, that was all good then. Nobody talked about code, but I guess that was a few years back. People were not using that term. But more recently, Tariq blasted Umar. Everybody's seen that. I think the video is still up. You can just go on your search engine and type it. It was filled with profanity. There were so many statements. Even statements about Umar having a herpes sore. Right? Now, was he on code then? Did we hear you groupies say, oh, you're not on code, Tariq. You got to be on code. No. So, sometimes when somebody comes with a concept, it seems like the person is untouchable regarding that same concept because he initiated it. That makes me think about Kwanzaa. And that makes me think about ideas that initially appears to come from a good intention. But then people tend to do very foul stuff. Like that whack Pan-African mentality of defending a black person just because he's black. That's why we have Pan-African rapists and pedophiles who are left off the hook. Pan-Africans who have been stealing for many years, and they are off the hook. No integrity whatsoever. Kwanzaa, we know, if you didn't know, the Karenga went to jail for torturing black women. And if you read the article that I've shared countless times, somebody very close to Karenga mentioned the fact that he tried to rape someone. Now, some people like to say, well, we need to separate the guy's behavior from the guy's work, or whatever they word it, however they word it. Kwanzaa is not African. Kwanzaa is a plagiarism of the Jewish holiday Hanukkah. So really, you have people like Molefi Asante who wrote a book about Karenga. But at some point, when you come to realize that some things are African but presented as so, and in the article that I shared many times, it's called Karenga's Ghost, written by Mukasa Africa Ma'at. You will find it very easily, and I shared it many times. If you read this article, you hear about the anti-Panther activity. You hear about agent activity. So is that all good? So basically something that is not African but portrayed as so, but it's a plagiarism of a Jewish holiday. So that's a deception. An individual who tortures black women and who fought against the original Black Panther Party and who was down with the government working as an agent. So that's all good. Is that on code? Now, if you have integrity and come to that realization, shouldn't you stop promoting that? But because the dude wrote a book about it, he doesn't want to do that. Because apparently he will kill him to admit that he was not accurate in his assessment. Many people do celebrate Kwanzaa. Now some people celebrate it because they have something that they feel is African or black exclusively. But many people keep on celebrating it and promoting it because they organize those Kwanzaa events and they make money out of it, period. So for real, what's up with that being on code then? So now it's cool to torture a black woman? And the funny thing is that whenever we disagree with some of your quote-unquote leaders, then apparently we are not on code. Some people like to say, well, don't go publicly and talk about this person. I heard Farrakhan talking about Malcolm X after Malcolm X died. Just like I shared a few days ago, Professor Griff talking about John Henry Clark way after John Henry Clark died. And in my opinion, he was talking sideways. And yet to this day, I haven't heard any amendments. Everybody's free to do so. So Farrakhan talked about, did you teach Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put him out in front of world? Was he your traitor or ours? And if we dealt with him like the nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours to just shut up and stay out of it? And there's that audio you can just type in the search box. Farrakhan praising Malcolm X's killers. Come on now. That was public. Was he on code then? So now basically I'm going to wait for Tariq to die to start talking sideways about him. There's also Farrakhan talking about Malcolm X had a problem with women and Khalid was molested as a child. I'm not making this up. Is that on code? Is that being on code? After Khalid died, way after Khalid died, there's also that video we can hear Farrakhan talking about Khalid once again after he died, talking about Khalid being like so strong as a front to hide another side, a feminine side almost. Have you heard that? Was that being on code? He said that Khalid was, can't remember the exact word, if it was a stallion for God, but he said something that sounded positive about Khalid, and the crowd started clapping, and Farrakhan went, no, I don't want you to clap. You can see his facial expression. Was that being on code? Come on now. Now, you might not care about that because you might be groupies. Well, there's that video where Farrakhan explains that our phenotype is the essence of ugliness. The black phenotype, broad nose, thick lips, and kinky hair, is a disfigurement after we rebelled against God. That we are marked. Is that being on code? Do you accept that? Is that an ideology and a doctrine that you accept?